wish I could talk to you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about everything.
Hey everyone, this is X-Man Gaming back with another video, guys. Here we have the Dead Space remake and the Callisto Protocol. We're doing our own perspective on the game of both games. Bringing in that Halloween spirit, but we're trying to show you guys which one in our perspective is the better character arc. You have Isaac, the engineer, then you have Jacob, the pilot. So, we're gonna give you our perspectives on both characters and what we think on the gameplay, the mechanics, and the story beats as well. So starting off with Dead Space Remake, we must say it feels lovely when we get our new weapons. When you get a new weapon, you hear that sound, and the sound just gives you that, like, yes, this weapon's about to be amazing. We're gonna be able to do some great things with this weapon. That's one thing I do like about the Dead Space Remake. When you get that weapon, you do get that factor of like, and the weapon designs are cool. The weapon, different effects on the weapons are nice. And when we say the enemy types, the set pieces for the enemy types, that fear factor. The enemy seems more, they seem like they give you that eerie feeling. And I love the designs of the characters are very nice in Dead Space Remake. And but for the character Isaac, you could just tell when he's going through each corridor, he seems to feel that impact of the area and the new creatures around. And when he speaks to his the other people that was on his ship, the supporting cast that were with him, you can see that he speaks on that he hasn't known some of them for that too long, and the Danielle girl, he didn't know her very long, which comes to find out she was a secret agent basically, to see what was going on and to try to stop what was going on at the facility and at that planet that they were landed on to try to get that artifact. And what we see for the Dr. Clark guy, his villainy is really something. It's really something special though, because I like how they grew his character. That's one thing I'm gonna say about the whole Dead Space remake or the Dead Space series as well. I'm new to Dead Space. I have never played a Dead Space until I played the remake. And after I played the remake, I went back to playing the original version. So, as of playing the Dead Space, the characters, they really gradually led these guys up to show you what type of character they were. And as for the Dr. Mercer guy, as we were saying, it shows that how he was a great villain. It shows you how he was experimenting on the other people on the ship for months. He hadn't been doing it for months. The creature that he was making, the hunter, he made that out of one of the members on the ship. And Nicole was she'd been trying to out Dr. Mercer for a long time. And I believe reason why Nicole, she got tired of it. That's why she just got rid of herself, because she got tired of no one listening to her, and the ship was going to chaos and monsters everywhere, and that's just, the story building was just immaculate when you really think about it. And I just want to say about the Nicole, how at the beginning of the game it shows she left him that message. That message is basically has to do a lot with the game. So that message that she sent him was the last message he got from her, and that message was basically her goodbye letter, her goodbye message. And he didn't realize that. But I think he knew inside of his heart knew that was a goodbye message. That's why he kept replaying it over and over again, because you know how we think. So that part was a little bit more realistic. That part was realistic on how he replayed that message and how he felt. You can have that feeling in your heart when something's wrong. He knew immediately something was wrong with her. So, but what we can say is that it's like Nicole, he thought that she was alive still the whole time. But that artifact was messing with everybody's head on the ship. And this brings me back to Dead Space reminds me of the movie Event Horizon, which was a classic movie. I love this movie. I watched it when I was a kid. When I was a younger kid. I would say that that's one of my movies. All-time space, eerie, spooky movies. And Dead Space, they had to get that from that. They had to watch these type of space scary movies to get this concept up for this. So I want to give a shout out to that. But give a shout out to that movie, Event Horizon. But as more we're talking about on the story, the character Isaac, as he goes more into the story, you see he gets more badass. He does. And he gets more, he uses his engineer skills to get through and fix the ship, to get to a new corridor, to get to fix the path so he could try to make an escape for his team that he's with, his captain. And speaking of the captain, he had a good character arc as well. When you think about a supporting character, because he really was close to that Chin guy. Obviously, he was close to him, and he didn't really want to kill him. He didn't want to. That's why he shot him off in the escape pod. But he should have never did that. But, you know, that's what we see in the movies too, you know. But this was more on the good storytelling to me, in my perspective, on playing it and going through the whole story as a new Dead Space player. And the bad guys were just phenomenal. Everybody played their script pretty well. The Dr. Mercer, he had me really feeling like, man, I want to get this guy. Man, he just get on my nerves. And he's just trying to stop Isaac from every path because he wants to reach that convergence, and he wants to bring that to Earth because he believes that he's going to he spiritually thinks that he spiritually believes that it's going to evolve humans the way it should be, and this guy is just a crazy maniac, you know. So it's like you really can see where he's coming from, and in a bad sense, because he's just trying to destroy everything. He's mentally insane. But and as for Isaac, you could just tell like he just wants to get away from all this stuff, and he just wants to he wants to be with Nicole and get him and Nicole off the ship and go back to his regular life with her. But the suspense is what really gets me. Is because you never would think. For a minute, I thought that Nicole was actually alive, but then I thought about it. Why she seems so calm? She seems like nothing's really going on. Like, it's monsters everywhere. Why is she so calm? And how did she get to a different area so fast? But you know, I would think about it. It's a video game. It's a video game. That's how she got there so fast. But you see, she got there so fast because she wasn't never there. It was actually the person that he met earlier, another supporting cast that he met earlier, and he saved her and helped beat the boss. He saved her from at the where they grow the plants and where they was doing all their food source and stuff, where they did their food source at, and you would never would think that she was with him. She was with him the whole time, but you did notice it because she said she was looking for her boyfriend Joseph, and Joseph was actually never there. Joseph was dead too. He wasn't alive anymore, and also Nicole's not. So the whole thing, the thing that they had on the ship was basically controlling, making them see things that wasn't there and hear things that wasn't there. It was controlling them like puppets, like the Danielle's woman said. But she still wasn't wrong. But I liked her character arc too because it shows that she was a secret agent. I love that the secrecy and the hidden agendas. It was phenomenal. And as for like the weapons, I love how you can switch your weapons on the fly. It was a little bit more easier to switch your weapons, and the mechanics. It felt smooth. When I say it felt smooth, you were able to aim at the enemy's limbs, be able to shoot their limbs off a little bit more easier. But on a harder difficulty, the enemies will move faster. But that wasn't a problem to me because we played the game on medium difficulty. Then we played it on a hard mode. When we played it on hard mode, the enemies did move a little bit more quicker, and it was harder to shoot off the limbs. But once we was able to get to a certain area of the game, you will see it gradual difficulty gradually spike. But I just want to say, like, Isaac, I just feel like he had a little bit more of a good story. His story, it showed growth through him and the supported characters. And I just want to say, like, it was a phenomenal game, and I could just see a lot of qualities and a lot of stuff that they put into this, from the original all the way to the remake. And big shout out to EA for that. This is one of EA's best games I can see. But they have plenty others as well from past tense. I'm glad that they did a remake on this, and I'm glad that I did try this out. I would have never known this was a phenomenal game.
I wish I could talk.
And I just believe the story was just amazing. And we're gonna give this, in our opinion, a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 for the game mechanics and for the story arc of Isaac, and for it makes us want to play part 2 and 3. Now on to the Callisto Protocol. Here we have Jacob. Jacob, the pilot. He's been carrying these shipments to the prison planet. He didn't even know that he was carrying biohazards. I mean, how would he know? You know, he was just freelance mail carrier, basically. You know, freelance space mail carrier pilot. And we gonna explain why we think that the other supporting character, the woman in here, the supporting character, we will tell you why we don't think that her story arc is really. I don't understand how like her attitude towards him was. It didn't really, you know, beat the same. Like, I don't understand that, why she treated him like that. Because he was just doing a regular job. You know, that's like if you ask a mailman, like, what, you didn't know what you were carrying? No. You're not even allowed to look at the mail. But it was, you know, he lost his friend. And then he gets put on, she sneaks on his ship, and I guess she's been following what's been going on the prison planet for weeks, because what happened to her planet, or wherever she resides, her hometown, Europa. And she knew that he was carrying it in there to deliver that, which still did, to me, just didn't make any sense. I feel like the story just was kind of fast. They kind of moved the character. They didn't grow the characters gradually. They moved, like, if you notice, even at the beginning, they make the everything jump so fast. Like, already he's getting off the ship. Oh, they already come in. They already said that he's a prisoner, and go ahead and admit him in, and he's in a jail cell. And then, boom, they outbreak already. It wasn't even set up where they showed the prison guard. The prison guard. They didn't even build him a story arc up yet. They didn't even make him to even show why he would even be like the last boss. To me, personally, this is just all my perspective and what I think of it on the story, and we're going to talk about the gameplay, the mechanics, and what we think is good and what we like. We will talk about graphically, I think this is amazing. This game looks amazing. You see the sweat drip down, you can see the monster's tentacles, you can see everything, the textures looks beautiful. They did a great job. They did a great job with the animations on here. And what we'll say is the robots. I want to know why the robots wasn't able to really fend off the outbreak as well. They didn't really explain that well. And why is the robots just attacking you? Like, I mean, you went through the system, you can see, like, and then you went through there. It just doesn't really add up in a lot of spots in the story parts of a lot of the character building, and about the enemies as well. But what we can say that we do like a lot is we do like how I do like the grip. The grip was pretty nice. The grip between Callisto and Dead Space. The grip, we can say the grip was good in here, but then the grip in Dead Space is better for the fear factor, because in Callisto it's kind of much easier to just throw an enemy into some spikes and destroy them right away. You couldn't really do none of that in Dead Space, which made it a little bit more difficult, which is good. But my bad part on the things I don't like on the mechanics for Callisto is the guns. When the weapons, you cannot change the weapons on the fly pretty well when you're in mid combat. Say if you're playing this on maximum security, you have multiple enemies. They're all coming at you, and then they want you to do things melee based with the baton majority of the time, and you're gonna have less you're gonna have less ammo drops. Like say like if you're playing Resident Evil on a harder difficulty, where you have less drops, weapon drops for bullets. It would be so difficult to actually use your baton if you have a whole bunch of enemies at you, and you have to dodge different ways, and then one enemy behind you, because you can't stop the animation from when you're hitting the enemy. The animation still continues. So when you're doing the animation, that still continues. So another enemy, right after you finish one enemy off, two other enemies just gonna just jump on you and attack you. And even if you try to run, you try to switch your weapons, it's hard to switch your weapon. So I think that they should have did that better on the mechanics with the weapons and the melee combat. If they still could have had melee combat.
But then I realized this was on me.
But I think they should have stopped the animations. The animation shouldn't have been too long for that, because this game gives you a lot of enemies all at once. So I think that was a downfall to me. And for the character art for the bosses, I do feel like the bosses, like the two-headed monster. The two-headed monster, I think he should have been like a two-part boss, instead of you defeat one two-headed monster, then you fight another two-headed monster, and those were the same boss. No, just kept that dude. He stayed alive, made him like he stayed alive, and then he met you at the other part, and you had to fight him again. You know what I'm saying? That's why I feel that's how that should have went down. And as for the supporting character, as for the lady, I just don't feel like she should have been so mad at him. Like, he didn't know what was going on, and why would, shoot, he's in the same predicament as you. But that's just what I see, and I just feel like that the characters wasn't they just wasn't built up right, and you don't see any gradual way of them reacting to certain things in a different way, to me, as a Dead Space. Because Isaac, you see Isaac, he started off like, oh, I'm just an engineer, I'm just coming to fix this and see what's going on here, find my girlfriend. Jacob, he really didn't have any reason, no reason to stay on the prison. And then, for instance, like, what is the point of the main bad guy? Why is he trying to keep them there? Why is the warden trying to keep them there? The warden, he had no reason. To me personally, in my perspective, the warden had no reason to keep them on the planet, to experiment on them. Here I have a whole bunch of people to experiment on. You see what happened? And how is he still even walking around? Where is he at? And everybody and all the monsters destroyed everything, and they all everywhere. Where is he at? They explained none of that pretty well. A lot of stuff was not explained. They just moved too fast. The character building was just rushed. In my opinion, that's the only downfall on the Callisto Protocol to me, is the character building was rushed. And nobody really has a really solid reason on why they're doing what they're doing, in my opinion. I mean, the virus outbreak, it was explained very well. That part was explained good. but just on the bad guys' initiatives, it just didn't make sense. I gotta stand and do this, and it's about making money, or it's about taking over something, or it wasn't about none of that. It just didn't make sense. But I do like the introductions of different enemy types. I thought that was uniquely thought out. Like what you see here. These guys, well, man, on hard mode, they're tough. They're tough on maximum security. I like that you have to be quiet around them. You have to sneak past them. That was pretty unique and thought out. I thought they thought a lot of those, and they did have plenty. They had plenty of enemy types. As of Dead Space really didn't have that many enemy types. I say about like 3. This one did have about a few different enemy types. It's about neck to neck. It's not really too big. I'm sorry, guys. A little bit under the weather. If you guys hear my voice. But let's get back to what we're saying, guys. But as you see, when you're changing weapons, it's hard to defeat an enemy. And then you pause in animation. So like, and then when you're trying to switch your weapons, see, we're switching our weapons here in this part in this part of the video. We did get them, but it took. It's so hard to. And then when you run out of bullets, you got to switch to another different type of gun, because the gun you have to take off that piece and put on a different piece for like for the pistol or the mini pistol or any type of gun that you're trying to switch it from. So that's our perspective on the gameplay and the story and what we think on the character building. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We're gonna about end it here. Our voice is getting really messed up. But I hope you guys enjoy this. But we're gonna tell you our winner and our perspective and our winner for the best character out of Jacob and Isaac. We're gonna tell you our best winner, and in our opinion, we gotta give it to Isaac. In our opinion, we gotta give it to Isaac. Jacob is not far, because I do like Jacob as a character too, but I still think Isaac is the better character.
Data transfer complete.
He's more you more feel for Isaac character, because he's looking for his woman, his wife, and he haven't heard from her in weeks, and he really he loved her, and he felt like he left off on a bad note with her, and he has a reason to get through to what hell he's going through. That's how I feel. But Jacob's not bad either, but Isaac is our better person for us. But as for Callisto Protocol, we gonna give that a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. At Dead Space, we gave that a 9 out of 10. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and this was X-Men Gaming, and we did this for our Halloween special, and I hope you guys love this, and tell me what you think in the comments. Who you like better, Isaac or Jacob? Let me know.